No, I'm fine.
Quite photogenic, Mary.
No, it is.
Camera shy. I think it was. How am I married? Walk away. Say a few things. Do that.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention just for a few minutes? Just we have to pump it up. I'd like to welcome everybody here. I'm going to put you straight across to Sean McMahon here, our commentator for tonight. Sean, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, and good evening to you all. We're going to reminisce here tonight, and it's great to be in Butlersbridge. We hope that in years to come that this video will be of great significance to everybody whoever watches it. It's been a memorable time, looking back to 74, of course, the champions in 1974, Butlersbridge against Mullahoran. We'll be meeting some members of the team during the course of the night. There'll be lots of songs and music as well. But believe it or not, a song was written within a half an hour, I think, of them winning the final in '74. It was written down in the Derrygara just down the road. Kathleen Duffy was the singer. Believe it or not, Kathleen is here tonight, and I'd say she's probably 21 or 2 or 3 or 61. Not right, but I'll be told later on. The song was written by Jean Cullivan, anyway, and it was the fastest written song, I believe, in Butlersbridge in years. Although, looking at Butlersbridge over the years, I'd say Sean O'Hare wrote a few songs pretty lively as well. But we turn to Kathleen Duffy, first of all. Kathleen, were you at the game?
I was, yeah.
What is your abiding memory of that game?
Well, you know, everybody went mad, cheering, leaping, jumping.
Did you do much leaping yourself?
I did. I was in the middle of them. I run into the field, and I leapt and jumped the same as the rest of them. Cheered.
What is the memory of singing the song for the first time? You'd never seen the words before. How did you get through it?
Well, I had no objection because Jean wrote it. They said, who will I get to sing it? And he said, here, come on, Kathleen Duffy, you sing it. That's how it. I said, I'll do my best, I'll try to.
I believe you had a wonderful time around Butlersbridge last week, was it? You celebrated your birthday.
Thursday night.
Thursday night, was it?
Yeah, I put on my glasses.
You want to get the glasses on, we'll let you do that there now. You want to get things into perspective? Do you see us any different now? What birthday were you celebrating?
80 on the 16th.
Give it a round of applause. I was watching you on a video earlier in Pat's house there. I don't know whether it was at a wedding, Pat, or what that was at, but she was singing a song. I was saying that woman doesn't look a day over 60.
Where's that? That was a mock wedding.
Was it?
A mock wedding. Sean Leddy.
Yeah.
Sean was the priest in that.
Have you lived all your life in Butlersbridge?
Yeah, born down there. Where McEntee has his shop now, I went in and put my head down where I was born 80 years ago. He can tell you that, I asked him.
Yeah. And does he give you meat at half price now?
Actually, he doesn't. He's not bad now.
You're taking that back a bit now.
I thought that'd be nice.
We'll get on to the song then. So what is it called? I think it's something like the 74 Champions, is that right?
Yeah.
And I think the original is somewhere. Pat will be focusing on that later on. It'll be a nice historic thing to have on video. But we'll let you settle down now and give you the glasses a rub or change. You're like the goalkeeper pucking out and hurling. You're grabbing one hurley and then the other glasses. And
No, what do you call that? A chorus.
A chorus, and you want everybody to join in.
Everybody.
And your daughter's here, and she'll lead the chorus.
I don't sing the chorus. Everyone sings the chorus. Right. I just sing the verse.
So we want a bit of hush now for Kathleen Leddy, or Kathleen Duffy, get that right? 80 years of age, singing the 74 champions, Butlersbridge, of course, the junior champions of 1974. A proud day then, and recalling it 25 years later, Kathleen Duffy bringing it all to life once again.
The boys from Mullahorn came to play for the cup. They promised to give the Butlersbridge boys the chop. The host and the post with might and main. What a 3-long whistle, the bridge won the game. Tooraloo, come on. Tooraloo. They'll be lighting the bonfire in Butlersbridge today. In goals, Niall Sheridan, a penalty snap. At full-back, Ray Dunne, the gunner he braved. The 3 Lady brothers soared high in the air. Mullahorn couldn't match them, that I do declare. Tooraloo, tooraloo. They'll be lighting a bonfire in Butlersbridge today. When young Ollie was injured, O'Hare shook his head. Things looked bad for the boys in the white and red. But out stepped young Nobby, he played like a man. And the Mullahorn boys away from him ran. Tooraloo,
They'll be lighting the bonfire in Butlersbridge today.
Terry Leddy scored a point that was a treat. Jimmy Browne shot another that was so neat. McEntee, that's Brian, played a blinder and Phil Dunne did too. That mesmerised the boys in the yellow and blue.
Lighting a bonfire in Butlersbridge today.
Great wing backs we had, Brendan Reilly and Tom Sheen behind the bar. Martin Fitch as ever was fit and keen. John Cusack did his usual starring role, and deadly Eamon Reilly hit a smashing first goal. Tooraloo,
tooraloo, they're lighting the bonfire in Butlersbridge today.
A penalty was awarded for dirty play. The Mullahorden goalie was filled with dismay, for Ollie hit the ball like a rocket, I say. To the back of the net was a goal all the way.
They're lighting the bonfire in Butlersbridge today.
Here was the referee, and a poor one, I swear. For he held Mullahorden more than was there. But at the long whistle and the end of football, should the Bridge had beaten Spear, Mullahorden and not
the bonfire in Butlersbridge today.
So salute 15 heroes, throw your hats in the air. Take a bow, clever manager Sean O'Hare. Thank you kindly, brave subs, ever ready to play. You share a famous victory on this famous day. We're in Butlersbridge today.
Whoa! Well done, Kathleen. That was brilliant. That'll bring back lots of memories for people that see this video probably all over the world. Could be in New York or London or different places, Butlersbridge people. Just finally, before we leave you, Kathleen, you've lived all your life, 80 years in Butlersbridge. If you were asked to describe Butlersbridge or why you enjoyed living here, what would your abiding memory be about Butlersbridge?
Well, everybody were good neighbours. They were all friends and neighbours. If I had a pack of fags and you wanted a fag, you got one. And that's how we shared things long ago. Whatever was going everywhere. Huh? And the same today, yeah. Yeah. There are nice people in Butlersbridge, but there's an awful lot of new faces, new homes, new everything. This is not the village I was born in, really. All the houses are built up now. And
what do you think of the bypass?
I don't know where I'm going in the bypass. I don't know where I am. I'm not cutting it. I'm not cutting it. I go up the road and I say, Mary, where are we now?
As long as you don't end up in Mullahorden.
Oh, no, I don't. Oh, they're not too bad up there, just the same. Oh, God.
The young people growing up today, very well educated, different lifestyle. What do you think of the young people? Because I often observe you in Butlersbridge talking to young and old alike. You seem to get on well with everybody.
Well, if they don't talk to me, I'll tell them off. The young ones. I say, come on here, have a chat with me. And they do. They're very good. They're very nice.
Your prediction for Sunday?
What do you
Saturday, get that right.
What do you think? Jesus, the Bridge are going to come home in flying colours. Flying colours. Better than ever. Better than ever. And I'd be there to watch them, and I'd be out there in the middle of the field helping them to... I drank the cup here, so I'll drink the cup with them now again when they come back.
And if there's another song written about a famous victory by Butlersbridge, you'll be on hand to sing it again.
If I can, I will, yeah. I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Kathleen Duffy. Are you rolling, Pat? We've Chandra musicians here, Butlersbridge musicians, a mix of them, gather them. They don't know exactly what they call themselves at the moment, but they're going to play a couple of reels for us. Is that right? Right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll let you get on with it in your own time. Are you ready? I see Charlie Mundy getting the fiddle in tune there. Maybe they're not just ready to roll yet. You can cut for a moment, Pat. Right, we've come in behind the bar here in... Is there a problem, Paul? Somebody moved their... Yeah. You've just come this way a little bit, Tommy, because he's trying to get a clear sight of you. Okay, we've just come in behind the bar now, and we've been joined by Tommy Smith, of course, the proprietor of Tommy's Bar here in Butlersbridge. And I suppose there's nobody in Butlersbridge doesn't know that you were the captain on the occasion. The 1974 winning team, and your brother Terry was captain of the 63 championship winning team as well. Can you tell us something about your memory of being captain that day and collecting the cup, Tommy?
Yeah, well, I remember it well, all right, but it was a great occasion, and I'd like to thank all the boys that helped me. There was about 15 players and another probably 15 subs, and the management, of course, and Sean O'Hare, he done his job too, and it was really a team effort from start to finish.
I'm told somebody when I arrived in here tonight told me that you weren't very happy with the referee's spear lynch. Could you explain your unhappiness about the spear lynch on that occasion?
Yeah, well, I've said that many times before, Sean. I don't like to say much more.
But we want to put it on video just for the record, like.
Yeah, well, it was in the first minute anyway, and he had given 2 frees in against the bridge, and I couldn't see any reason for them. One was against Ollie Leddy, and the other was against Sean Leddy. And it was the first minute of the game, and it didn't look good at all. So I was on the end line waiting for the free to be taken, and the free was taken, well, before it was taken anyway. I said to him, you must be going to play for them today. So he didn't like that. He says, you're on the line. He says, you'll be the other end of the line now. So that's the story of that anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, things went well after, and we won it by 6 points. 6 points in the end.
The half-time score I had it noted there earlier on. Maybe you'll remember that off the top of your head.
I can't remember the half-time score. I remember early in the second half.
If I can... 1-1 to 2 points was the half-time score. Butlersbridge were in the lead, and Eamon Reilly was the goal scorer after 2 minutes. Your recollection of seeing that ball going into the net at the other end?
Well, it was a long journey up, so, but Eamon put her away, and that's all that mattered anyway. So, you know, that's all that I worry about. And
football and Butlersbridge in this area, synonymous with the Gaelic Athletic Association for many years, for decades in fact. You've been at games all over Ireland, Croke Park, Clonus, anywhere you next the name. You love travelling to games, Tommy.
Yeah, I don't miss too many games when the Bridge are playing or Cavan are playing. So I wasn't here for some of the Bridge games earlier on. I was away on holidays, so. But they done a good job to get through. I missed the Shercock game and the Drumgoon, the 11 game at the Drumgoon. But I was there for the replay with Drumgoon, and it was very good anyway.
People know that you love Gaelic football. Can you tell us about any famous people that came in here over the years, Gaelic stars, or people that you met or had a chat with here in the bar?
Well, there were a lot of people. Like I just can't mention any names because there's so many down the years, you know, famous players that I met everywhere, all over Ireland. And
yeah. But is there anybody in particular? There must have been somebody who came in here during your lifetime here now that you can remember.
Well, as I said, there was so many, you know, all down the years that... Yeah, well, of course, Teddy, they're talking about Teddy McCarthy, you know.
Well, you can't have any more famous than Teddy. He had a double in 1990, and Sean O'Halpine is going for a double on Sunday. I'm sure you're aware of that. It must have been nice for you talking to Teddy McCarthy. How did he come in here, or why did he come in, or what was the circumstances?
Well, Cork were playing Anthem in Cason Park that day, and they called in here at 8:30 that evening. And they got in with the boys here, they were playing a game of cards. So the persuaded them to play a game of 45. Teddy McCarthy and the Cork people never heard of 25. So they converted them that night anyway.
Was that a good thing or a bad thing as far as Butlersbridge was concerned?
Well, they've played it a few times since. But they're still at the 25 all the time.
Yeah. I'm not into cards myself. Is there a big difference between 25 and 45?
Well, it's an extra 20 that you have to get to win the game. That's all.
He seems to know his cards all right. And will Butlersbridge play their cards all right on Saturday?
Yeah, I think they should have a great chance now after beating them good. I think they'll do the job all right. Yeah, I really do.
There's lots of very talented young footballers in Butlersbridge. What a great boost it would be if they won the championship at this stage.
It would be, and it's about time. You know, 25 years is a long time. You know, and they even didn't get to a final since. So now when they're in the final, they should do the job and get it over with. You know, because it's hard to get to a final, and when you get there, you want to win the final.
When you look back on the final in '74, the 24th of November, what's your abiding memory when you look back on it in quieter moments on your own?
Well, I remember it was a very bad day. It was a very windy day and very wet day too.
The weather never seems to change, does it?
It doesn't. It's the same the day too. So that's what I remember mostly about that day, you know, and lifting the cup and taking it back to the bridge and marching up the bridge street with it. And, you know, it was a great night after and a great day after that. And we brought the cup down to the school the next morning, and a lot of the ones, a few of them that's playing now were there in the school that day, and it was a great lift to them to see the cup. Myself and the late Sean Leddy brought the cup down that morning, you know. So it was really great for everybody.
Nice of you to mention Sean Leddy. We all think of Sean, and he's in our hearts and our minds tonight. One of the gentlemen of GA and of life in general.
Correct, yeah, he is. Very nice fella, and it's a pity he's not here now just for this occasion, because he was supposed to be here for the 25th anniversary of the winning of the championship, and it's too bad. It was very sudden.
He epitomised all that was best in life and on the Gaelic field and on the stage as well. I suppose he's looking down from above and wishing you well on Sunday.
Yeah, I think he will be there, and I hope and the cup is named after him as well. For the first time. It's the first year of the Sean Leddy Cup, and that's why we'd like to see the bridge more than anything else. You know, I'd love to see them this year on that account, because it's named after him, the junior championship. Yeah.
The captain on Sunday is Matty Boylan, a son of Deputy Andrew Boylan, who's in the audience here tonight. Of course, Andrew has two other sons on the team, Andrew Jr. or sons rather, Gerry and Fergal. And that's three members of the Boylan household on the team. You were the captain on the last occasion, Matty on this occasion. It's an onerous task. How will he carry the mantle on Saturday?
Well, I think that he should be able to, you know, give them good advice before the game starts anyway, and they're well trained. You know, they're all well trained now, and I think that's it's up to the team now to do the stuff.
Do you think, Tommy, that his father and mother would have any advice for him?
Oh, I think they have a great advice for him. They're well experienced now. Yeah, definitely would.
Tommy Smith, it's been a real pleasure talking to you behind the bar, where you've been for how many years now?
Well, it's a long time.
He's a cute Butlersbridge man. He never defines time, the years, or exactly how many years, but it's probably 25, 30.
It's 42. No.
42. As Jimmy Brady used to say in the march, any advance on 42.
I don't think so.
You'll be here for another few decades. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Tommy Smith. Okay, we're back with Kevin McPhilips, He's going to sing a song, a great football song. It'll be entitled Johnny Thomson. But first of all, Kevin, tell us a little bit about yourself. A good Butlersbridge man. Can you recall the day that they brought home the title?
Surely. But I'm looking forward to next Saturday. More than I was looking back at that one, like, you know. I see them coming up here again. We haven't as big a men that we had the last day, but we'll do the job anyway.
You think, have they trained very hard for this game?
They have trained very hard, yeah. They've trained very hard.
And I don't see any of them in the pub tonight, which is a good omen for Sunday. I think the manager's keeping a tight rein on them.
I had a good look around there and there's not one of them here, no.
Unless they're under a settee or under a table or something.
After Martin Fitz down there, he's the only one.
Right, the song that you're going to sing, Kevin, we'll let you explain the title of it and what it's about.
Oh, he was a goalkeeper, but he got a kick or something and he died anyway. He didn't live after it.
Johnny Thomson, was this in Scottish soccer world, was it?
Rangers, he was playing for Celtic against Rangers.
Okay, Kevin, in your own time.
Yeah, right. You have to give me this thing. A young lad named John Thomson, from the Wesley Fife he came to play for Glasgow Celtic and to build himself a name. On the 5th day of September, against the Rangers club he played. From the field he saved the Celtic, but what a price he paid. The ball came on the centre, but John ran out and dived. The ball went by, but John lay still, for his club this hero died. I took a trip to Parkade, to the dear old paradise, and as the players came out, sure the tears fell from my eyes, for a famous face was missing from the green and white brigade, and they told me Johnny Thomson, his last game he had played. Farewell, my darling Johnny, Prince of players, we must part. No more we'll stand and cheer you on the slopes of Celtic Park. The fans, they are all silent as they travel near and far. No more they'll cheer John Thomson, that bright and shining star. So play up, Glasgow Celtic, stand up and play the game, for in your goal the spirit stands, Johnny Thomson is his name, for in your goal the spirit stands, Johnny Thomson is his name.
Kevin McPhilips, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be joining Charlie Mundy and the whole gang from Killishandron, Butlersbridge in a few moments. Dumlane, is it? Get it right? It's very important to get the home base right. that was Charlie Mundy and friends. We'll describe them for the moment. Charlie, were you at the game?
No, I was in lovely Dunlane.
Charlie was at Lane at the time. We get a little bit of hush now. Give Charlie a moment. But you're converted to the Butlersbridge way of life now.
Oh yes, I'll cheer for the lads.
What do you think of them around the Butlersbridge at the moment?
Oh, they're great people.
You'd have to say that, wouldn't you?
Oh, of course I will. I'm living with them now, and there's no doubt about it. They're just as good as anywhere you go.
And the team, I'm sure you know many of the young lads for Saturday. What chance do you give them?
I think they'll get there, yeah.
Charlie Mundy in a confident mood. Charlie, thank you very much. You get cut now, Pat, and we'll be heading towards the team manager on that occasion. He's sitting at the bar. He was called to the bar a long time ago. He should be a lawyer by this stage. So, the one and only Sean O'Hare. We'll have to get. No, we'll get that. You were the manager. Okay, we're ready to roll. We're joined now by the team manager on that occasion from November 24th, 1974, the one and only Sean O'Hare. Sean, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Sean.
You wanted to remind me there that you won another title on that occasion in 1974. Were you emphasising there that you won a league? Was that right?
No. We played well in the league that year.
Yeah. I misunderstood you.
When you had something, and when you had something to go forward for, we met Mullahorn in the final, but our team wasn't a bit afraid of Mullahorn. We were quite capable of winning because they're a winning team. And if you have a winning team in league, you don't change that team. We never changed our team. We went out and played constructive football, and we always could win. We kept the forwards the ball at the right time, and by God, we had a good forward line. With Eamon Reilly and the whole boys in there, and they could score, I can tell you that.
We've heard about great managers over the years, Mick O'Dwyer and Eamon Coleman, but where would we place Sean O'Hare in the lineup of things?
I wouldn't be a good manager, but I know all about the game.
Well, that amounts to the same thing in my mind.
What I did in 74 was that any man with a bit of common sense would do. We played Gaelic football for what it was worth. We had a good defence, we had a good midfield, and we played every ball we kicked, we left a man in possession. So if you do that for an hour, you can't win. You can't lose, rather. We all know.
Sean O'Hare quickly correcting himself there. The referee on the occasion was Spear Lynch. Going into the game with a man of the calibre of the great Spear Lynch, did you think that you had a great chance when Spear was refereeing the game?
Well, I didn't care if there were two referees there on the day who were far the better team, and in the second half had no answer to the beach playing football. So it could have been in another Spear Lynch if he was available. They couldn't beat us. They couldn't beat us, and that's what's right. And another thing I want to tell you, another thing that you have forgotten all night, this Butlersbridge team won the double, the first time ever it was won. We beat Kill in the final, and after looking at Kill, me and the boys went up and we took a look at them playing football. We hit them when they were weak. And another thing, we hit them when they were weak, and we beat them by 18 pints to 4.
When you say you hit them where they were weak, where was that?
Well, beaten early in the year.
Yeah, but that's not what I asked you now. You said where they were weak. Where were they weak?
They were weak in defence.
Oh, right.
They're the strongest. This was Kill I'm talking about, the league final. They were weak in defence. They're weak forwards. And we concentrated on one thing. We drew out the back line, which was weak. We had Eamon Reilly, I say at that time one of the best forwards in the game. He went in and we scored 2 goals and 3 pints. And every one of the forwards scored a goal because we weren't bunching in the middle of the field. We let the ball go a half-back, bypass Gerry Smith. There were 2 county men on that team, 3 county men in fact. But we bypassed where they were strong. We hit them where they were weak. And that's why the Bridge won the double.
You won't get any more descriptive than that, but I know that you've written poems and songs over the years, and you've been one of the great characters around this area, Sean, and it's always been a pleasure talking to you. And any time I drop into one of the pubs here, I better not name any pub in particular, I'll see Sean O'Hare having a pint and having the crack. Can you tell us about what living around Butlersbridge means to you?
It meant so much to me because we grew up together. And unfortunately tonight, a good of my friends, the finest brothers, my greatest pals that I ever had, that I associated with, most of my colleagues are dead, and I'm still alive. But there you are.
They were describing you earlier on as the metal man. That wouldn't be right, would it?
But the one thing about it, a 74 team, when you look at them, most of them are here tonight. That big man, Raymond Dunne, I think you should ask him to say a few words. The Dunne brothers. You see, when you go back to 74, we had 3 Dunnes, we had 3 Leddys, we had two Reileys, and we had 2 Niall and Browne Shannon. So we had 10 players before going to play. That's before looking for anybody else. So that's why we're called the Bridge team. Together with all that, I see a man here tonight that played a big part with us. That's Tom Flynn here. John Shannon is with. Tom Flynn, give him a big hand there. We come in. We understand this for the league final. For the league final, Ollie Leddy was away in America. We're too short. Terry Leddy hurted his knee, so we had to call in 2 men, and the first man come in was Tom. And T.P. Leddy was the midfield, a man that very nearly been here tonight. Give him a big hand. T.P. Leddy and Tom Flynn dominated midfield against 2 countrymen. So where do you go from there? And we won by 18 points to 4. We won the famous double for the first time it was done. Laffy in the semi-final in the championship. They gave us a tight rattle for it, but we beat them. We beat them. But they come along the following year and done what we done. But we were the first team to do it.
Sean, looking forward to Saturday. How do you view the game on Saturday?
I tell you, well, the best football match I've seen in 2 years was the Bridge and Drumgoon, especially the last game. It was Gaelic football, because usually the teams which you see was killing Gaelic football is this. They're bunching far too much. I don't like the short passing game, no, especially coming out of the fence. I don't like that. But the last quarter, the Brits set the ball in, fed the forward, until we won the match. If they could do that for an hour, I can't see any team beating them in this county. They're brilliant. That's what they are. The present team. They're great. That's a young fella.
If that kind of spirit prevails on Saturday, there's no doubt that Butlersbridge will prevail at the end of the game as well. There's something about you, Sean, your spirit. You've been through all sorts of trauma operations and in hospital and over the years, but you come back and have a pint and have the crack, and yourself and Kathy here, and you're always smiling. Is there any, what's the secret of enjoying life despite the trials and tribulations along the way?
Isn't that what it's all about? Enjoy yourself. Have a good time in life, because in the next world you might never great life. If everyone knew what to do in this life, you'll surely have a good life.
Did you ever have an insight into the next world at all?
No, but one thing I'm going to tell you, that what you asked me there...
Did you ever have an insight into the next world?
No, it doesn't appeal to me at all. I'm going to go on as long as I can, as I am. Despite the fact that Gabby Hayes used to say, I ain't so good as I used to be. To a blondie girl, he said that.
There's one final thing I want to ask you about, Sean. I know you've been involved in drama over the years.
Yeah.
Sean Leddy was performing on the stage about a week before he passed away, so regrettably. You saw him acting in Butlersbridge. He acted all over the county and indeed McCorry in different parts of Ireland. I'm sure there's a little tribute that you want to put on video.
I have to. Sean Leddy. I was the second daddy because he was that great with me through football, through romantics, and we used to write songs, me and Sean, a good many of the songs. One of the Cheetah Bishop in his broadcast, and several of them, but that was our life, a bit of fun in life. And Sean, he was full of fun. He definitely lived. How poor Sean was taken away from her, but one of the greatest friends ever, as an old man, he was the greatest friend ever I had. And I've had a good many people. No, Sean, that.
Well, my abiding memory of Sean, he rang me up in the Anglo Celts on one occasion, told me he was going out abroad to some of the poor countries to work with the less privileged people, and I was very moved by that. He brought me back photographs. I wrote an article about him, and I'd say he was one of life's real gentlemen. Not many people in any part of the country give part of their life to go and work with the less privileged abroad.
Yeah. But before I go any further, I want to do one thing in my life. I want to wish Butlersbridge, this young team now, my God, if we have the cup here, I hope to God they don't celebrate before it comes. We celebrate when it's on that counter, and that's the time, and please God it will be there.
That's good advice, Sean. I think they were doing that a little bit down in Kilkenny, and we saw what happened when they met Cork in the final. But you're shrewd people around Butlersbridge. The talking will be done on the football field on Saturday.
Shoot first, ask questions after.
There's no answer to that. The one and only, the indefatigable Sean O'Hare. We're joining the musicians for some more music. round of applause for the musicians, and what a wonderful job they're doing tonight. But turning now to Patricia, you're going to name these. Who knows the names of all the musicians here tonight? Charlie, you know all the names here. We'll let you name.
He's the master. The chairman is here.
This is Donald Reilly.
Donald.
We'll get this man in the room. You name everybody playing here.
Charlie Mundy here invited us over to play. I'm James Cosgrove. This is Donald Reilly here, beside me on the accordion, and Marion Whale here is on the fiddle.
Marion, what's her second name?
Marion Whale is on the fiddle beside us here.
Just to get Marion's second name right for the record. That was the musicians, and of course Sean Browne here as well. We'll have a brief word with Sean here. One of the great faces around Butlersbridge. Looking forward to Saturday, Sean. Your prediction about the game and how you read it?
Oh, I think it'll be a great game. It should be a great game. And if the way they played the last 2 Sundays, I seen them playing again Drumgoon, I think there's nothing to stop them. I was chairman when they won that in the 74 team.
Yeah, we'll get you to stand up, Sean, because we want to get your face on the video. And Pat, even though he can do great things with the camera, he can't turn faces around. You were chairman in 74 when this great occasion occurred.
Yeah. I'm sure it's glad to see so many of the lads about tonight. And I had good men with me, Sean O'Hare and Jim McGerty, and a lot of the fellas that I forget about them now. It's 25 years and it's hard to think of the whole, but I was very excited at Sean, or when this big man was taking the penalty. I got more excited. I was behind the goal, my arms around it, see where he put it. I thought it was over the bar, but it was in the net. It was great. It's great, and I hope to live to see when they'll maybe win another one after this.
There's a great community spirit around Butlersbridge. You love music, Gaelic games, and life in general.
I'm out for 60 or 70. I'm nearly as old as Kathleen now.
Don't give away a woman's age, or she might attack you outside.
Well, I'm associated with the bridge team. I'm 73 or 74 now, and I'm associated with the bridge team for the last 50 years. I played football for 40 years. First jersey I put on was in Killishandra against Crowman. Green and white jersey were playing that time. Again, one of the crotties. Tough men. They were all tough men that time. But so there was tough now, and I hope in God that they'll win us something, or Saturday.
A lot of training going in at the present, and physical training, emphasis on physical training. Can you tell us about something about the training that Butlersbridge did in 74?
Well, we used to do that much. We didn't do as much as they're doing now, anyway.
Would you have been allowed into the pub the night or the week before?
Oh, you'd always allowed to take a pint or two. Not a bit harm at all. I said, not a bit harm. I never went out in the field except I had a couple of pints in the end.
You're telling us that now. You didn't tell the manager at the time. I suppose
I wouldn't beat that much again to drink of Saturday night. A couple of pints a day, a couple of bottles. Not a hate.
You were the chairman of the club at the time, but there's been great advances in the interim in Butlersbridge, the new pitch, and all that sort of thing. And
it's a credit to the young ones that's over the pitch now, and the club that's over. This is credit to them, Sean, Henry, and Paul, and Mickey, all the lads. It's a credit to them. It's a credit to them. I thought I'd never lived to see the day. I played in Maid at the bottom for 50 years, and you had to talk out behind an old bush. And when you'd be wet when you're putting on your trousers,
and maybe a couple of women standing the other side of the hedge.
You didn't give about them that time, man. It was great excitement. Huh?
Looking forward to Sunday. I know you've gone, or Saturday, I keep saying Sunday. Saturday, you've seen the team in training, you've seen them in lots of the games. What kind of a chance do you give them?
I think it gives them a good chance. I think they're going to win it. I think there's not a team now. If they play up to their standard. But I hope they don't play up. If they go down, I hope they don't play some of the games I see them playing in the year. But they could go down badly. But I think they're up for it.
And what kind of fun do you think it'll be about Butlersbridge on Saturday evening if they win?
Oh, it'll go on for a week, I'd say.
It's a good job you have the bypass, you have the village to yourself nearly now.
Well, it's a good job we have the bypass. The trouble is when we go home the bypass.
They can sail on by and you'll be oblivious to them if you're celebrating.
I hope to do. I would like to. I hope to call in and I would like to see them go home the bypass and may as well enjoy that sport and we'll go down with the cup anyway.
Plenty of good characters down in Drumlane as well. I'm sure Ian Corrigan has played around Butlersbridge. And is there a son of his playing on Sunday?
There is, yeah, there is a son of his playing.
So,
very good football.
Win, lose or draw, there'll be plenty of friendship.
There'll be plenty of friendship. We don't remember any. I played for 50 years, and when we won or when we lose, it was all the same. We're all having a jar together. Anyway.
But you'll be even more friendly on Saturday night if you win.
Oh, yeah. Oh, more, that's right. Oh, praise God, Sean.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Browne. You around with. A bit of fun with you in it. Raymond, you just stand beside Ollie here.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to block it. I like it, Ollie. How are you doing? How are you?
Eamon Reilly, the mark.
You can introduce them as they go.
Yeah. We have to get into a small boat. Yeah, be all right. Yeah, that's it. Oh, in there, Eamon. You stand there facing that. Yeah. Eamon, you're more
Right.
I didn't play on the day, so you can go up with him tomorrow.
Right. We'll be yarn with you anyway. You do. We're ready to roll now with the players, and we can have a little bit of silence, please. Okay, the full forward that day was Eamon Reilly. Eamon got a goal after 2 minutes. And I know Eamon has great recall. He loves the Gaelic Athletic Association and Gaelic games. He says, Jesus, he says, I haven't that great a recall. But you scored a goal after 2 minutes. That set you on the road, I would say, in that game.
I can remember it well. Sean Leddy, God rest him, sold up the field and he gave it to me and he says, Eamon, you go and do the rest. So I was lucky enough, it ended up in the back of that.
Did he get a chance to say that to you?
Well, near enough.
Or are you colouring it a bit with recall? Would Sean have said that on the occasion, or were you thinking that?
Well, we had a good
understanding.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
Did you kick it to the left or the right of the goalkeeper? One fellow says here you kicked it through him. I wouldn't say he's so well today.
Yeah. Well, you'd need that Mulhorn goalkeeper.
But the main thing, Eamon, it ended up in the back of the net.
Sure, yeah. Well, he usually did when I got the ball.
You can see that he's modest as well. At half-time it was 1-1 to 0-2. You were leading. Going in at half-time and meeting the manager, Sean O'Hare, Sean didn't tell us what he said to you at half-time, but I'm sure, Eamon, you're going to recall some of those words with great distinction.
Maybe Sean mightn't want to remember them now, but he was a fit, strong fellow at that time when he was hammering the table and telling me what he'd do with me if I didn't get another one. So.
I didn't think he was a violent man.
No, he was okay, but
he was urging you on to greater efforts. He was using psychology, Sean O'Hare style.
Yeah, Sean was. I played on the Sean O'Hare for I don't know an awful long time. So
You were watching these young lads playing in this championship in 1999, coming to the end of the millennium. I presume you were at many of the games, if not all. What chance do you give them on Saturday?
I give them every chance. I think they have a very good all-round team. They have very good forwards, and the back line, I hope, will stand up when the centre field does the job. We'll win.
What will Eamon Reilly be doing in Butlersbridge on Saturday night if the cup comes home?
Well, I hope I'll be celebrating and taking a wee drop out of it.
The one and only Eamon Reilly, who got that great historic goal in the 74 final. PJ Dunne, you were one of the subs on the occasion. Did you feature in the game at all, PJ?
I didn't know, no. Well,
but you were willing them on from the dugout?
I was. Myself and Brendan Reilly here, Eamon's brother, we used to vie for the position of, I think it was right full back. And I think Brendan more not bored off than I did. I had a different programme at the time. I was more into the social life than I was into the football life.
I hope Sean O'Hare didn't know about that at the time.
Well, he was a kind of, O'Hare himself was a kind of involved in that social life.
Oh, I'm sure that's a story for another night. I don't understand that, but maybe that's Butlersbridge.
More of a dramatic liberty I'm taking there. We had several other committees and functions and other organisations going on in the village at the time, and I might have been concentrating as much as Brendan was on the sporting end of it, you know.
But you've grown up in Butlersbridge, and the Dunne family synonymous with the bridge area. Growing up as a young fella here and life in Butlersbridge, just for historic record on the video, PJ, what does it mean to you being a young lad born and bred in Butlersbridge and going to work in Cavan and living around the area?
Well, it's a kind of an exaggeration to say, but you nearly know the tick of every clock in the village here, in every house in the village when you live in the village.
Did you say the tick of every clock?
You would be in everyone's house, you would have your tea, your dinner, as Kathleen Duffy said earlier on, everybody shared everything. We played football in the street, you'd pull the ball off the street when the car would come. We live next door here to Tommy's, as you know, or maybe you didn't know that, but everybody else would know that. And we're like, the village was everybody knew everybody in the village. There was no strangers at all around the place. So it was a very tight community and a very combined community and a very united community. And it was a lovely community. And the same, I mean, Cavan Town's a nice community at the present time, but everything, as you know, is getting urbanised and everything else. It isn't the same as it used to be. So I can empathise with what Kathleen Duffy says. Things are changing. But they haven't changed. I believe that under Paul Henry here and under Terry and all the committee here, there's a fantastic committee here, great bunch of young players, a great team manager. He's from Ballyhaise, but I believe he's moving to Butlersbridge. If they win on Saturday, he probably will. But by the way, but no, there is a great community still here, and it's great to see it. And if as Sean Browne said, the places are standard, I'm sure they will win on Saturday, you know.
You'll be in early in Breffney Park on Saturday evening, PJ, standing in the stand, I presume, and watching out from the stand, and thinking back about all those years and what has happened in the intervening time. Special occasion for Butlersbridge to be back in a final on Saturday.
Well, it's a wonderful community event, and could anyone from the village, whether they're near or far, everybody will be so happy if they come back with the cup.
And what will PJ Dunne be doing on Saturday night if the bridge bring home the cup?
I think I'll come out and probably take Sunday and maybe Monday as a relax.
And can we take it there won't be a house sold in Cavan on Monday or Tuesday?
Well, we might put in a small appearance.
PJ Dunne, we turn now. We turn now to Martin Fitzpatrick. Of course, you have a son playing on Saturday. Martin, can you tell us something about what you recall from that final in '74?
Damn odds tonight. We told the whole lot there tonight.
It's amazing the way the guys came in here tonight, and the women as well, and brought back memories and told you things that you didn't even know happened.
He's right, Mr. Reilly there. Tells the whole lot.
What kind of things did you hear tonight that you'd forgotten about?
The score. Didn't know Eamon got gold. Never heard it before.
We know that you like training the greyhounds as well, Martin, and you enjoy life in general and living around Butlersbridge. Your son playing on Saturday evening, that must be a special occasion for you.
Oh, not a bit. It's up to himself.
But I've seen him playing. He's a grand young lad. He has plenty of skills, great free-taking ability. I did a commentary on a game he was playing in. I compared him to Maurice Fitzgerald-like stance taking those frees. Cool, calm and collected. Does he take that after the mother or the father?
I don't know. Did you see Maurice Fitzgerald?
I did. I was talking to him.
I never seen him.
You're a modest man, Martin. You did your talking on the field in 1974. When you go to Breffney Park on Saturday and looking down on the pitch, what will you be thinking?
Who won the 430?
I knew he was interested in greyhound racing. The 430 at where? Harold's Cross, Shelbourne, or where?
Shawfield.
At where?
Shawfield.
Shawfield. I don't know. You have a dog running there, and I hope he finishes first and that he doesn't finish last.
Doesn't delay me.
Or doesn't delay you, in fact. What chance do you give them realistically on Saturday?
50-50.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. It's a final. TJ Gerry was 101 the last day, not the score. Didn't score. And that's it.
I talked to you many years over the years, in fact, about football and hurling and all sorts of things. You followed it very closely, and I value your opinion. You're saying 50-50. Not many people said that earlier on tonight. You're giving them a good chance, but you're telling them to keep their feet on the ground, go in there and concentrate.
Correct. That's it. They have to concentrate. They have to very vigilant.
And say they do win by a goal or a point, bring home the cup to Butlersbridge. What will Martin Fitzpatrick be doing on Saturday night?
I don't know. I'll probably be heading to Oldcastle Sunday morning, That's what happens.
Michael Cryan was just remarking there that you tell the truth.
He knows that all right.
Martin, thanks very much for talking to us. We hope you enjoyed the game.
Well, yep.
We're moving on now to Raymond Dunne. Your recall about the final, Raymond. Anything we haven't asked anybody else about a magic moment or a special moment that you've all treasured, or you've treasured in fact, from that game?
Not about the game. I remember going out and I had an unusual hairstyle at that time. I was losing it, and Kathy Durkin gave me.
You were losing the hair or losing the?
Losing the hair. Yeah. I didn't lose the head, but O'Hare said I got a rabbit punch somewhere early on in the game in the night.
You were playing with Danny the gunner that day, and I think he was in close proximity to you for most of the game.
You could say that, yeah. But just to get back, Kathy Durkin gave me a tea cozy, and I wore it that game, and it's in the photograph, and I wore it for several games after that, and it had no great hair restoring effect, but it worked anyway. That's what I remember about the game. The other thing I'd like to say about the game was that was junior championship, and at that time there was no intermediate championship. So winning that was, you were on the way up. The next step would have been into the senior thing. So I don't know if that's really appreciated now.
You have to go to intermediate now and up into senior.
Yeah, that's right. A different step. Yeah. Another thing about that is that Aidan Foynes, and there was reference to Sean mentioned Willie and Mick dying, but Aidan was in Florida, and Kevin Smith sent him a telegram after that game, and Aidan still treasures that. He has it in a little case where he's all these personal mementos out there in Florida. I saw it, and he says, "Bridge Victoria's pandemonium." It was written on so it was a very good description. So I'm sure that will be repeated again next
But we're thinking of a headline in the Celt on Monday morning. That'd be a good headline.
It could be. But that was the Christmas began early, I think, in '74. It was the 24th of November, that game, and I think it was a good lead into Christmas at that time. Yeah.
You didn't worry too much about putting in the decorations, but there was plenty of celebrations.
There was indeed, yeah.
Looking forward to Saturday. Sorry, Raymond, you were going to say?
Well, I was going to say there was never any problem getting celebrations about Butlersbridge.
It's the bridge always rises to the occasion, no matter what they're at. I've been backstage up there with Peach and Sean and all these in halls up there down the years, and with Ferroiga clubs and everything, and they were in Kilnacrot with shows, and they were at Town Hall, but when the occasion demanded, the bridge were out there up front and put on a good show. They're very proud people and proud of their area. And everybody's talking about how closely knit the community was. There was a phrase that was told to me years ago, that if you touch a link, you rattle the chain about the bridge.
I think it's a good description. That's a nice one. Yeah. If you touch a link, you rattle the chain. Yeah.
And next Sunday, I hope.
Next Saturday, I've been told to remember it's Saturday. But next Sunday,
we got 15 links out there. Make a good chain in the Drumlane boys.
And there's not a weak link amongst them, you would say?
I wouldn't think so. I think the replay, the game against Drumgoon, the second game could make that team. That extra. The rose of the occasion then, and I think that extra game could make the difference. Hopefully.
And what will Raymond Dunne be doing on Saturday night if the cup comes home?
That's a good question, isn't it? But I think getting luck.
I have a feeling Raymond Dunne mightn't remember too much what he'll be doing.
That's right. We'll come out and join the celebration, sure. Win, lose or draw, we'll be here anyhow. And I like Sean Browne's sentiments there that we go down with the cup and they come here, call here. That's the spirit of the association and spirit of the game around here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fullback on the occasion, Raymond Dunne. We'll turn now to big Ollie Leddy, who was featuring at midfield wearing number 9. Have I the jersey right?
I think it was, yeah. I think it was number 9, yeah.
And I understand you scored a penalty in the second half. Can you tell us something about how that came about, Ollie?
Oh, I remember well how it came about. The ball was kicked in, I think it was Martin Fitz kicked the ball in between Paddy Smith and Eamon Reilly. And Eamon was, he was favourite to win the ball, and he was just, the ball was going away from them, and Paddy Smith stuck out his leg and he took Eamon in the square. That's how the penalty came about.
You were marking Noel Smith, I believe, on the occasion, Ollie.
That's right. Noel Smith. Noel Smith was he was a county player at the time, or he was in or around the county team at the time, and he's a big, strong man. Probably stronger than I was at the time, because I was still only a young student at the time. You know, I'm still very young. You know.
But I believe you were throwing your weight around a bit on the occasion, and knowing Ollie Leddy, you wandered over the field back and forward. Did you bump into Danny the Gunner or John Dalton on the occasion?
No, I didn't bump into Danny the Gunner. Raymond Dunne looked after him very effectively on that occasion. I remember Raymond that day with a tea cosy on him. I must say I feared for him at times, because on occasions it was coming down over his eyes, and I thought maybe he just wouldn't be positioning himself rightly for some of those high balls, but he played very, very well in the day, and he looked after Danny the Gunner very well, yeah.
Ollie, you played at the very highest level for Cavan in Ulster and on different teams. That moment when you look back on it, 74 title, what did that mean to you?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what it meant to me. In 74, we played that final in 74, and the following Sunday I played in the Dublin Club Championship, or the Dublin County Championship, and I won the Dublin County Championship the following Sunday. Eamon Reilly was in the stand that day, and I must say that the Dublin County Championship was a damp squib compared to the Junior Championship in Cavan.
Of course, you had the great success with St. Pat's. Was that back in 72?
No.
70?
No, I had no success with St. Pat's.
You weren't involved with St. Pat's. I'm mistaken there. Sean was involved with St. Pat's.
I captained the team in 71, and most of that team played in 72, but myself and John Brady were the only two absentees of that team in 71.
Another question, it was written down here earlier on, some of the people doing research for me there. Your most difficult opponent in all your games playing for Cavan and for Butlersbridge, if you were to be put on the spot tonight and say the most difficult opponent you played against?
I'd say it's probably Martin Fitz.
How did that come about? How did he come to be on opposition?
Well, when I played him and trained him, he was very bad to communicate with. He wasn't a good communicator.
And when you kicked the ball towards him or fisted it or passed it, there was nothing said. Did he pick it up? Or when you say a lack of communication, how did that manifest itself on the field?
Well, he didn't talk much. He just mowed you out of it, you know.
Ollie, looking forward to Saturday. You've seen these young lads performing, I'm sure, on the run-up to the final. How would you evaluate their chances?
It will depend on the video here tonight. If Paddy gets it processed and here's what we had to say about the 74 final, if they're half men at all, they'll go out and they'll kick the stuffing out of them Lane on Sunday. And I don't mean that. I don't mean that they should do that, but I think they will. I think Butlersbridge are going to do they're going to do the business on Sunday.
And if they do win, Ollie Leddy doubtless will be here at one of the pubs in Butlersbridge on the Saturday night, Sunday night, the Monday night, Monday morning.
I'll be the first here.
The big man, the gentle giant of Cavan football, Butlersbridge football, the one and only Ollie Leddy. You can still pick us up there. We just move Terry one side there if we can. The space is a little bit limited. Brian McEntee, another member of the team on that famous occasion. When you look back through the years and your family are featuring at the moment, what is your abiding memory of that?
Well, I've very good memories of it, you know, and I'll always remember I think the first 10 minutes in that game was very physical, and I suppose it was nowadays to be an awful lot of red cards and yellow cards, but I don't think the spear knew anything about them sort of things at them days. It was great to be a part of the team, and I enjoyed it. I have great memories of it.
A lot of people into that game suggested that Mullahorden were the favourites. Why did the Bridge triumph on the occasion?
Well, I suppose Mullahorden were favourites. You know, as you can see now, they're a senior team and they went on to win a senior championship there. Bridge would have a very small pick and still have, I suppose it was more community effort at that stage, and I think Sean O'Hare often described it to be a do-or-die effort, you know, and that was the commitment in the team at the time. And as I say, we had men like Ollie and Sean, Lord have mercy on them, and you know, with great backup. So,
what does being part of a team like that and being involved with the GA and living in Butlersbridge mean to you?
It means an awful lot to me. As people know, I'd be very much involved in football in Butlersbridge and the community here, and I'd count myself very lucky to be living in a place like Butlersbridge, and people are friendly, and I'd have to say they've been very good to me from I opened up my business here and have made me live in the Bridge people.
Is Kathleen Duffy a good customer, by the way? She said she was.
Oh, Kathleen is my bodyguard, put it like that. So when I'm in trouble, I go for Kathleen. So.
And we can suggest that the meat is very tender in Butlersbridge because Kathleen has good teeth, but we would think that the beef is fairly tender.
Yeah, well, we blame the teeth if it's not tender. So.
You won't get any better advertisement than McEntee's beef than Kathleen Leddy or Kathleen Duffy's teeth. Looking forward to Saturday evening and the lads coming home here, win, lose or draw. Everybody in Butlersbridge hoping that they will be victorious.
Yeah.
If you come home here victorious, how will you feel?
I'll feel very happy, and I'm thinking about celebrating then. very happy if we win this, and I think we will. This is our year.
Brian McEntee, ladies and gentlemen. We're back now with Brendan Reilly. And if I look through the team selection, can't see it at a glance, but exactly where were you playing? Number 2, I think, right corner back, Brendan.
Number 2, yeah. Beside and Tommy.
Who were you marking on the occasion?
I'm not quite sure. I think it was Brian. He was taking off me in the second half.
Brendan's a modest man, but that statement says more than...
He was injured.
Probably.
One of the intelligent Butlersbridge people in the background says slightly injured.
But I want to say about Page. I was envy of Page's social life. I tell you, I'd have swapped it with him at some time.
I can't understand that. There's some hidden agenda there, but we'll hear about it sometime.
Yeah. Well, he often reminds me of it. So.
What did that social life involve, like?
Well, Tommy's probably. We were training hard then. We had a long time from the semi-final. It was played in August, and we didn't play the final until November, you know. So we were been trained hard on, you know, Kerry McInerney, and the lads were keeping us going, you know. So we had to keep fit, because he was waiting to get his place if he had a chance, you know.
Your abiding memory of the game, when you look back and talk to your children about it now?
I was nervous going into it because it was my first final to play, and I'd been a sub in 2 other finals. And I heard Tommy talking about the tough. It was really hard going in the first 20 minutes. But I knew at half time that we had, you know, that we were going to win it. But I remember at the end when the final whistle blown, my father coming across the pitch and throwing his arms around me, you know, and he was a great man for the GA, and Eamon playing, and the other 2 brothers had won medals in '63, so I was the only one that hadn't won one. And I remember he said that to me, you know, you've got your medal, and it was great, you know. And I often think about it and think of, you know, how much he thought of it too, you know.
That was a special magic moment. I knew your father well. In fact, I interviewed him about a year before he died for the radio. He lived and slept Gaelic games, and he had a great insight into them.
Well, we played underage football with Anna at Harvard, but his life was in Butlersbridge football, and he lived for it, you know. And to see us winning and winning that, you know, up until the day he died, he was a bridge man to, you know, everyone around here knows that, you know, and his heart was in Butlersbridge, and I know he'd be looking down on Saturday.
You've moved down to foreign territory, down about Belturbet at the moment. How's it treating you down there, Brendan?
I'm getting lots of rubs.
Don't answer that question.
I have a neighbour here beside me.
Yeah. But you're working with young players down there, and you're highly involved all the time, Brendan.
Yeah, well, I have 2 young lads, 3 of them, but I have 2 young lads playing, and you know, it's good to be involved. As I say, I played with Anna Belturbet because we lived in the parish, and Brian here too. But I come on to play with Butlersbridge. The young lads enjoy it. I enjoy working with them. We won 2 finals, and it's great. It's a great buzz when you do that, you know. But my heart's still here, you know. I've been in it the last few games and with Butlersbridge, and I can see them. Even last year's league final, you know, they're doing brilliant here, and I can't see them but winning this cup on Sunday.
There's something special about the people in Butlersbridge, because there's a big dub here tonight. Michael crying, I heard him earlier, saying that somebody said to him, are you going on holidays, Michael? I thought you were away in America or London or Boston or something. He says, be jizz, I wouldn't miss it. He says, I want to be around for Saturday. That's a Dublin man.
Oh, well, that's what Butlersbridge is all about. It's a small community, and it's always had a small pick, and it shows you what they're made of in the final here, and I wish them all the best, and I know that they're going to win it, and they're going to win it for Sean, because he done an awful lot for me when I was playing with Butlersbridge, coaxed me and kept me going when, you know, I wouldn't have been the best fella to train, but if I'd done anything wrong, he told me.
Wouldn't it be really special, seeing that the cup is the Sean Leddy Cup, that Butlersbridge would collect the title on Saturday?
I'd be the happiest man too, and I think they're going to do that, you know. I'd be delighted.
Brendan Reilly.
Young Nobby.
We're joined now by Gerry McGerty. You came on as a sub for Ollie Sheridan.
Yes.
If we can turn you around
Sorry.
facing the
Yeah.
lights and the camera there.
Yeah, I came on the first half. Ollie got injured, and Sean gave me the shout, and I had a try.
He was playing at number 6, centre back. Where did you play then when you went in?
Sean moved into the centre, and I played on the wing.
Do you remember your opponent when you went in?
I do, surely, because he was about 6'2", 6'3".
Who was it?
I think Gerry Cadden. He's a detective. He was a massive man. But it didn't worry me, actually.
Did you exchange any pleasantries when you were introduced?
Not at all, no. I was mad to get in, actually, at the time. You know, I couldn't wait to get in. You know.
Lots of physical contact.
Yeah, there was, yes. Hard-hitting game, you know. But I didn't mind that. I relished in it, actually, at the time, because I was young. I had no fear of myself. So.
Gerry, you were born and bred here in Butlersbridge, and you've seen a lot of happenings over the years as a young man playing on that occasion. How do you look back on that occasion?
Oh, what great memories. I'll never forget that occasion. It was one of the greatest memories of my football career.
And turning to Saturday, your prediction?
Well, it's going to be tough, you know. It's a final, you know. I think there won't be much in it, but I think we'll do the business. We have the stuff to do it, you know. We have a great young all-round team, you know, well-balanced team, and it won't be fitness that'll beat us any on the day, because the lads put in a tremendous, they give a great commitment over the whole year, you know. Trained, you couldn't fault them for the training, you know. It was a great. I think the fitness will show in the end.
And where will you be in Breffni Park on Saturday evening?
Well, I'll be on Saturday evening. I'll be here out enjoying the crack with the lads, you know. I doubt it. But I'll definitely be here enjoying it with the boys, you know.
Gerry, thanks very much, and wish you well on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
You're still rolling, Pat. Right. We're joined by Terry Leddy, and I think you were marking Hubert Brady on the occasion. He played in the over 40s team as well. You're a school teacher in Baltobit, principal down there at the moment, and involved with young footballers. And looking back on the occasion, what is your fond memory of that day?
Well, I suppose I was one of the lucky players at that time. I had just come onto the team the previous year, and like when I think back of the many great players who were in the Bridge before that who never got a chance of playing in a final or winning a championship, I really considered myself lucky at the time to be part of a team that won a league and a championship. But I had many great memories. I remember when the final whistle blew, the nearest Bridge player to me at the time was Packie Leddy, and Teepee was that high and I was that high, and I went to jump up to catch Teepee round the neck, and I hit him somewhere on the chest with my head. Teepee put me down and he says, "That's the hardest wallop I got today." So he never looked back since, so I'd like to wish Teepee well there. He wasn't in the best of form, but he would have been with us tonight only. But like you mentioned Gentle Giant there earlier when you're talking about Ollie. Giant all right, but Ollie wasn't that gentle, but Teepee was a gentle giant. Sorry about that, Ollie. And the reason I say that, Sean, is that Ollie gave the last hurrah before we left the dressing room, and it was one of the old dressing rooms in Breffni Park, and I remember the last thing he done was he hit the table with his fist, and he broke a plank of wood in the table. And he maintained afterwards it was poor quality timber, but I think it showed the determination that was in the team that day. That in itself doesn't win matches, of course, but Ollie led by example. There's no doubt about that.
Terry, as a school principal, and we want you to describe something about the team manager on the occasion, Sean O'Hare. We were talking to Sean earlier, but there ye were, young lads in the dressing room, and Sean was giving the team talk. Can you give us an insight into how he went about it?
Well, Sean, as you say, was in charge of the team that year, and as he often said himself about the team, he said that the team fitted like a glove. And I was never too sure what exactly he meant by that, but it was only after when I had lost my place in the team that I felt that I could reasonably ask what that meant. But I think he told me it was something to do with that every man fitted into his position and knew where the ball was going to be played. And he was, as you know, Dublin were coming on the scene at that time in 1974, and Sean always advocated the Dublin brand of football. No messing, long ball into a colleague in a better position and take it from there.
Another Kevin Heffernan, as Michael Cryan from Dublin says there, and Tony Hanno, and of course Jimmy Keepney and all the boys in that era. Well, maybe Cavan football could do with a bit of that at the moment.
Oh yeah, well I think there's no substitute for letting the ball go. Not letting it go aimlessly, but letting it go fast, because the ball will travel faster with one good kick than it will with 9 or 10 short hand passes. And while the hand pass is very much a feature of the modern game, I think that our team now has can combine the two. And like our game at the minute is to let the ball in fast to the forwards, where they have the speed and they have the space to take on them and to win the ball and take on the men. And that's the way I like to see it being played.
You're involved with young people yourself and teaching young students at the moment. Young people, their attitude towards Gaelic games, there's a lot of other sports attracting them for their attention. How do you see Gaelic games going in the future years? Do you think players may have to be paid? I see a union formed in the last couple of weeks in Ulster. How do you see it evolving in the next couple of years?
Well, I hope we never have to go down the road of pairs being played, because we see cross-channel like what paying players has done to soccer. Soccer is no longer a sport, in my opinion. It was a great game, but it's a business now. Like all the English teams now are laced with foreign stars who are getting huge amounts of money. But coming back to our own situation here, I think it was never a better time for Gaelic games. People said that if you televise Gaelic games, nobody will go to the matches, but the last few years have shown that to the contrary in both football and hurling. There never have been better attendances at football and hurling games, and young people are really enthused about it. Like down in the school at the minute, the children are absolutely on high dough, making decorations, putting up flags, and the only thing they want to talk about at the minute is the final on Saturday.
Not a word about Manchester United?
Neither Manchester United nor Chelsea have been mentioned for the last week.
Well, that says it all.
Hard luck tonight, Terry.
Michael Cryan says hard luck tonight. Who do you support in the soccer world?
Well, from 1970 there, I have one compatriot down there, Greg, Chelsea.
Well, what will Terry Leddy be doing on Saturday night if the Cup's here in this pub?
Well, I hope to be here with the rest of the team and to be enjoying the celebrations. But as everybody else has said, it's a final, and finals are 50-50 situations. There's no guarantees. You have to play on the day, and probably the Bridge and Drumlane are very evenly matched. We've met twice this year. We won once, they won once. There was only 2 points the first day, 3 points the second day. So it'll probably be a case of who takes their chances or who doesn't take their chances. I think it'll probably boil down to that on the day.
Terry Leddy, ladies and gentlemen.
Principal man behind that.
Right, we're ready to roll once again. We have three people that played major roles in the Butlersbridge Club over the years and continuing to do so. Gerry McGerty. Jim McGerty, I have Gerry written down here. Jim McGerty, in fact, you were secretary at the time. Can you tell us about your involvement and the preparation for that game?
Oh, sure, I was secretary for a few years before that even. And we hadn't a good run now. We were going very bad for a number of years. Terrible bad, in fact. We were nearly an embarrassment to the... And you took me place, Shirley.
Can you tell us about that incident up in Ramor?
I can indeed. That was a game after a very bad period, and we hadn't enough. We hadn't 15. Some of them said to me, "Go in the goals." And there went about 10 balls in by me, and Shannon said, "Get out the hell, I go in there." And he's playing a goal since with the bridge, except Niall. Niall McCorry is the goalie now, and great goalie, like, but a great kick out, but Shannon's there waiting on the wings, all of them. You could tell him to get out the hell,
Jim, what chance do you give the young lads on Saturday?
Well, I give them a good chance now. I'd say they're a good team. Good enough to win it. Good enough to win it. Yes.
You're playing in the near neighbours, Drumlane, just down the road. There's great rivalry. Many a time they pass through here. Does it make a difference when it's great rivals like yourselves and Drumlane?
It doesn't matter once you win a final who you beat. As long as you win a final, it doesn't matter who you beat. That's the way it is.
And I'm sure you wouldn't be worried whether it was a great game or a classic. I heard Eamon Coleman saying the other day he lost plenty of classics. He'd rather win a bad game.
Yeah, as long as we win, we don't mind what sort of a game it is. But I know that we're going in there with a good chance of winning. But going back to the 74 scene, we had a very bad scene before 74. In fact, in 72 and 73, I don't think we won a game at all. We won our last game in 73 against Mullahoran, the team we beat in the final. And we had a bit of a meeting in the hall, and we said to ourselves, there's something seriously wrong here. We're going to have to do something about it.
That was the understatement of the year.
Yeah. And at the meeting, someone proposed Sean O'Hare as manager. O'Hare said, "It's not a manager you want, it's a miracle you want."
But Sean O'Hare has performed a few miracles over the years.
Well, I think that was his greatest miracle. I think that was... he come in there to a team that was not winning a game for 2 years, I'd say. They won one game in 2 years. And he turned them around, and they won the double. They won the double. I think something to be said for that.
If you were asked to define how he brought that transformation about, how would you define it for me?
Well, they'll tell you about positive thinking. This is the whole crack nowadays, positive thinking. Well, I think O'Hare was ahead of his time.
He certainly was.
He had positive thinking in them days when it wasn't her talent.
And he had a good football brain as well. He knew how the game should be played.
Well, not alone that, but if he said to a player, "Put your hand into that fire there and get it board," to do it. That was the way it was.
That's like what Sean Boylan says to the meat team at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's an example of the way it was in them days. Not much training, but great commitment. You know, great.
When you go into Breffney Park on Sunday, Jim, or Saturday, we'll have to get that right. It will be over by that stage. You're looking forward to a wonderful game and of course a Butlersbridge win. But what would make you most happy, to win by a point or 10 points, or does it matter?
So long as we win, it doesn't matter what we win by. Just as long as we win, it doesn't matter what the score is. We don't want to go out to annihilate Drumlane. Not at all, no.
You wouldn't like to embarrass them, because he and Corrigan would be up here playing and he'd never let it die.
Drumlane are good neighbours of ours, and we'd like to win, but we don't want to win by a big cricket score. That's the way it is.
Jim, enjoy the occasion and enjoy the celebrations. Thank you.
Indeed I will.
We turn to another Jim now, Jim McCorry. Of course, member of the county board for many years and the executive, and played a leading role in Cavan and the development of Breffney Park and your local club here in Butlersbridge. Jim, somebody whispering there, could be the next chairman of the club as well.
Well, I have to think about that one, I think, Sean. No, well, I was always a man maybe behind the scenes. You won't see my picture too often in the set or anything like that. I'm a GA man from I was knee high, and that was down in Black Lion or Glenfarne or wherever you want to call it. And I played football from I was out of the cradle, and I came here in 1966, I think, as a nipper. I didn't play me football at Butlersbridge actually at that time. I was based in Killeshandra and I played me football in Killeshandra, but I suppose I'd be a blow into the bridge. But at the present time, I'm a totally committed Butlersbridge man. I love to see a championship come back to Butlersbridge this year, and I have two sons playing. Maybe Andy Boylan and Margot have one up on me there. I couldn't manage the third. But it will give me great pleasure, like I retired in 1972, 2 years away from the 1974 team that won the championship, and there's nothing would give me more pleasure than to see them win on Saturday evening.
And if the cup comes home here to Butlersbridge, you've been around it for many years now, what kind of celebrations can we expect?
Oh, I'll be stocious. I'll be languorous. There's no doubt about it. Like, we will enjoy it. There's no doubt about that. But win, lose, or draw, I think, it's 25 years since we've been in the final. I remember the 1974 final for two things. One was Eamon Reilly's goal, and the second one, I don't remember too much about it. I have an awful bad memory, but the two things that I do remember was Eamon Reilly's goal and Ollie Leddy's display at midfield. They were the two things that really impressed me in 1974, and I'm lucky enough now to have lived to see 25 years later Butlersbridge back in a final. It's a great feeling. I said that to Terry Leddy coming off the field and when they beat Drumgoon in the semi-final. I think this is a great feeling, and to win the final would really put the icing on the cake for us.
Jim McCorry, ladies and gentlemen. Mary Shannon is here. I thought she had disappeared for a moment. Mary, I've been told that you're a quiet woman, a woman of few words, but I'm sure you're going to have something memorable for us here tonight. Your late husband, of course, Ambrose, was highly involved, and the grounds were purchased here and developed. A lot of good things went on then. Can you relate some of them to us and your involvement?
Well, you've often heard it said, blessed art thou among women, but this evening is blessed art me among men. It's all men that's speaking here this evening. Yes, I have memories. Goes back a long way from a young child. I was always interested in football. Always went to football games. As you said, my late husband Ambrose was involved with the football club for all his life, and he would have brought at least half of the present day team. He would have coached them at underage, and it is nice to see them so far today. Jim McCorry was blown but having 2 sons, and Andrew Boylan having 3. Well, I have 2 on the panel. They haven't met the team yet, but they might.
That's a great Butlersbridge or Cavan word, blowing.
I didn't even know I said that, Sean, but anyway. The present day team have worked very hard. I would have had memories of the 74 team, but I would have been very young, I have to say. I couldn't remember an awful lot about it. Get away with that, Ollie. But today the boys have worked very hard to get to where they are at this stage of the championship, and I want to pay a tribute to Matthew Boylan and his panel of players, right down to number 35. Michael Cryan let me know this evening there was only 26 when names went in from Drumlane. I think maybe that's all they had. We had 35, we could have maybe put 10 more to it. So we have the...
Where does Michael Cryan feature in the setup?
Number 35.
Michael Cryan was always there and always willing, and Michael was called on this year to fill when we hadn't a team to put out up in Castlerahan. He was asked had he his boots, and he said, well, I haven't my shoes, but I'll do my best. Right? So I'd just like to wish the lads the best of luck in the forthcoming game, and Drumlane are our near neighbours, and there's no rivalry, even though Corrigan would like to think there was. There isn't. We're going to give them a tight run for it, but our boys are up for it, they're ready for it, and I know that they're going to win. It would be a great honour to bring the Sean Leddy Memorial Cup back to Butlersbridge. Sean, before his untimely death, was a selector with the present day team. Sean would have played all his football with the Bridge as well as Cavan and everywhere else, but he started with the Bridge, and Sean and I go back. We'd always have a few words to say about how we played or how we didn't, and we'd always slag each other, but always in good spirit. And I would be very proud to see the lads come home with the Sean Leddy Memorial Cup, please God, on Saturday.
You mentioned there, Mary, at the outset that you are blessed among men. Do you think the women get a fair crack at officers' jobs in the GA and in the clubs?
Well, I think if they haven't in the past, they will in the future. But when I was asked to take on this job 2 years ago, this is my second year as secretary. We won a league cup last year. We're going to win the championship cup this year. And please God, I intend to go on into the millennium. And in the third year, we'll have 2 cups. So I'd like to think that has something to say for women involvement. And the gentleman that approached me about taking the position said there was nothing to it, there was nothing to do. Jesus Christ, I haven't had a break since January.
But they stood behind you, Mary, well behind you.
Well behind me, exactly, and smiling in the background. And if I forget something, Paul will remind me, and if Paul and I forget it, Michael will definitely back us up. So I'd like to thank all the officers and everybody involved, Phil Plunkett, the team and everybody, and wish them all the best of luck, please God, on Saturday.
And seeing that you talked about success there since you joined, it's a case of lady luck, isn't it?
I hope so, and I hope it'll continue for a long time to come.
Mary Shannon. We'll have a little bit of hush now, and we're going to dial the hospital in Dublin. And hopefully we'll have Paddy Leddy on the other end of the line.
What hospital is it? Black Rock.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, Paddy.
Sean, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, very good indeed.
It's lovely to talk to you. You're in the Blackrock Hospital in Dublin there.
That's right, just minor surgery, but looking forward to getting out in the morning.
Well, everybody here is packed into Tommy's Bar in Butlersbridge. We're actually videoing this and we're recording your voice at the moment. What wishes or message would you like to send to all your colleagues that have gathered here, the team of 1974 in Tommy's Bar?
Well, first of all, Sean, I think it has been a fantastic idea on behalf of the Butlersbridge club, the committee, to honour that great 74 team. I'm sure the atmosphere down there is fantastic and everybody's having a great time. Unfortunately, there are some of us that have been unable to get there. Indeed, more sadly, there's a few of the players no longer with us. People that come to mind, of course, is Seamus Duffy, Lord rest him, and more recently, poor Sean Leddy. But even so, it's a great night and a great occasion for the club, and as I say, a lovely idea, and I'm sure that marvellous mentor and manager, Sean O'Hare, is enjoying every moment of it.
He is indeed, Paddy, and we're delighted to hear that you're in such good form, good strong voice. The young players going out on the field on Saturday, you've seen them performing up to now. Can you tell us something about how you view their performances to date and how you think they'll do?
Well, their performances, it was a tough go through, Sean, against Drumgoon, but they finally came through, and I'm sure that will stand to them on Saturday. This is a one that's going to be very, very hard to call. I would guard against over-confidence in the Butlersbridge team, and I'm sure that Phelan and his excellent backroom staff will have guarded against that. I think the team that will be victorious on the day will be the team that adopts the correct tactics to the conditions presented by the weather. But all in all, it's going to be a marvellous weekend because it's two local clubs with two great traditions, and either way, you know, Sean, there's going to be celebrations close at hand. Let's hope it'll be Butlersbridge.
Paul Henry tells me you were a sub on the last occasion. Your most memorable memory from that, or any funny anecdote from the celebrations, looking back on it, Paddy? I know you have a great insight into life and the happenings on that occasion.
Well, Sean, that is true. I was a sub on that victorious 74 team. Now I have sang the praises of our brilliant maestro and manager of that time, Sean O'Hare. And I suppose that was the only bad decision he made that day, was not playing me. However, that was a great team. It was a team a little bit different than the team of today. More physical, more stronger. But the team of today that's going out to do battle at the weekend are full of football and lively. And, of course, the game has changed over those 25 years. And as you may notice there's a lot of the people there have changed as well, including myself.
Paddy, well, we're delighted you could join us live here for this video, which is being recorded, and you'll get a copy of it. It's been filmed tonight by Pat Lee from Cavan, and all your friends are gathered here in the pub here in Butlersbridge. And I'm sure they're looking forward to seeing you home in the morning, and we hope you have a very enjoyable day in Breffni Park on Saturday.
John, just before you go there, could you just spare me a minute? I have someone with me who would like to send their wishes to the Butlersbridge Club.
That wouldn't be me, Howlo Marahertig, would it?
Just for a quick second, I'll hand you over to them. Hello there, Sean. It's just a quick minute I'm going to say. I'm in here with Paddy for the last few minutes, and we were talking about the excitement and the build-up to the game on Saturday. There's only one advice I have to give, and that's to the captain of the Butlersbridge team, Matthew Boylan. Matt, if the unforeseeable happens,
Well, as you can see, Paddy, all your friends, men, women, are enjoying themselves at Butlersbridge. They had a good laugh at that. And we know that you'll be soon fit and well, and you'll be rejoining them here in the morning. That's, what is it, Wednesday morning? Nearly lost time of what day it is. Is it Wednesday morning already? It is indeed. We're already into Wednesday morning here in Butlersbridge. Paddy, it's been a delight talking to you, and we hope that you enjoy the game on Saturday.
Well, we will, and I'll try and get down there early in the morning, Sean, because I'm sure you'll all be still there.
God bless, Paddy.
Have a great night, Sean.
Thank you. Bye-bye. We want to thank Ollie Henry for making the link to Dublin tonight for us. We appreciate that very much, and I'm sure everybody in Butlersbridge does as well. His great technical knowledge with Aircom, is it now? I was going to say telecom, but they've moved on. Ollie Henry, thank you very much.
Paul. Okay. Who? Packie Connolly after Tom.
We're rolling it once again now, and we're going to be joined by Tom Flynn. You were a member of the panel on the occasion, Tom. It's just gone 1:15 on this Wednesday morning. An anecdote or a memory that you have for us?
Well, I do remember a few things. I had just arrived back from the States a few weeks before, and I joined Drummalee, or Butlersbridge, sorry. I had played years and years ago before that with Drummalee. But I played football in New York with Ollie Leddy and Sean Leddy, and I knew Mickey Reilly and John Shannon from playing club football in Canada. And when I came back home, these were the only fellas I knew, because I'd been away for 10 years. And I met them when I came home, and they asked me would I play football with Butlersbridge. Now I didn't. I was a sub on that team, and the team that won the championship. But you know, the thing that I remember most about Butlersbridge, I suppose, was teams like the earlier teams, because I wouldn't have the same affiliation that these fellas would have. I wasn't part of Butlersbridge until then. But one of the things that I do believe that Butlersbridge will win this final, because over the years Butlersbridge has always played a very good brand of football, the kind of football that I think should be played. They always played very clever football. They always moved the ball well. And when I think of Butlersbridge, I remember teams particularly like the Ken Browne. I mean, I shouldn't mention individual, but I remember Ken Browne, I meant Con Smith, Tommy playing in the corner as a young fella then, and it's an indication of my own age, I suppose. But I always admired them. I thought they were a very gritty. Tom Sheridan as well, Red Tom playing. I remember these fellas, and they came out and they won county championships at that time. Or I remember them winning one, as far as I can recall, anyway. I thought they were very gritty, and they had a sense of community that I feel is very, very strong in the Bridge. And when I came back myself now, and the boys talked to me, and they said I didn't really mind who I played with, but I was awfully glad at the time that I did join this club, because I felt it's much more than a football team. There are very, very few teams in the country that have the same sense of community as Butlersbridge has. You'll find here, I'm sure that you'll find here next Saturday night, win, lose or draw, that every person in the Bridge, every member of the community will be here. I'm sure of that, because I was a part of that, and I'm very, very proud to be a part of that. And I suppose some of the great memories I had here when I came home first for the few years that I was here before was the variety of characters. There was Christy Rourke, there was Sean O'Hare, there was Sean. I mean, I'm not even going to start. It's very unfair to even mention individuals, because they are all individuals, and all of them collectively make a tremendous organisation and a tremendous community. I'd be very, very happy to have been at one stage a part of it. I admired, over the years when I look back at the 74 team, and I mean, I was only a member for I think 2 years. I'm very fortunate because I got a county championship medal, and I did play in the league, but I didn't play in the championship because I had arrived home. But when I think of players, many players, looking through the players, Brian McEntee, who played midfield, not a tall man, tremendously hard worker, never hit anybody as far as I could remember, used the ball well. Jimmy Browne, various people have been mentioned, but Martin Fitzpatrick, who was full-back. Now, there are other people. Ollie was a big, tall, powerful man in the middle of the field. Sean Leddy, Philip, Raymond Dunne, Eamon Reilly, you know, a player who I felt was as good a full forward as I ever saw playing, because it was...
Somebody remarked along the way that he was akin to the great Sean O'Neill.
Well, I'm not sure. I think a different player than Sean O'Neill. Sean O'Neill was a rambler and a rover and a wing half forward, essentially, in his best years. I think Sean O'Neill was a half forward. There were a few players that I would be more scared of than Eamon Reilly getting the ball 21 yards out, because he was a fellow that reminds me of him at the moment is a fellow called Ollie Murphy that plays with Meath. Eamon would lie into you, very hard to get rid of, and knew what he could do, and was very, very confident. A great full forward. I always felt that he was senior county material, and I'm not sure whether he did or didn't play, but certainly was a very talented player. There was, apart from that, there was a sense of team, which is really important. I think with all the training in the world, if you haven't got a sense of team, you're not travelling very far. The bridge has a sense of team. There is I'm surprised that there aren't more. It's a pity, in my opinion, coming here tonight, that there aren't more of the team here. I have to say that's my own personal opinion, because I think they could only gain from people talking about the bridge, and this is really what they are talking about. They're talking about the quality of the people in the bridge, the sense of humour of the bridge, the camaraderie of the bridge, the marvellousness of being a part of the bridge. All these people are saying that. Everybody that you meet is saying that. And I've been privileged, I think, to be a part of that, and for a very, very short time. Great players, marvellous players. I think they'll do well. I think they will.
Ollie Leddy said that if Pat Lee gets the video out in time, it might encourage them.
I don't think they need any encouragement. I think they're part of the community. There are a few communities that I think are as strong as this one. It'll be even stronger now with the bypass, I think, because people will realise that they're a closely knit unit. I'm hoping that they realise that Saturday is the day to do it. The hardest thing, I suppose, when you're working with a team is to get fellas to realise that it's a one-off. This is not the day to lie down. This is the day, if you're going to get hurt, this is the day to get hurt. I mean, this is the day to throw yourself around. It's a day that if you've got anything in there, this is the day to do it. It's a day when you are a defender. I think it's a day, if you are a defender, you forget about yourself as a defender. You don't want particularly to play a good game. What you want to do is to make sure that your man does not get the ball, and that means just getting your hand out in front, blocking the ball, pushing off the ball. Then that's what you do. I think there's probably very few teams in the country that can do that as well as the bridge, because they do feel that there's a sense of community. I'd like to have seen more players here tonight to realise how much it means to the bridge. And it means an awful lot to the bridge, and it is a hell of a community, and I think they'll do well.
Tom Flynn, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try and have a word now with Packie Connolly. Packie has his head faced in towards the bar. A very hard-working committee man over the years, I'm told, by Paul Henry. Packie, if you can turn around this way a little bit, Packie, we get it. Packie doesn't want to move too far from his pint here. But Packie, I presume you were at that final. Can you tell us how you viewed the game on Saturday?
There was only one game that
the Bridge ever played with, that was against Mullahorn. The day we had a magnificent row with them up on down pitch and the other side. You make out, you know what I mean? But one of the best games of football
You're
that
never
was.
right over your head.
I was doing umpire that day, you know. And John Shannon came from Canada and he led on the ball to Ollie Leddy. We were beating about 6 points at half time, you know. That was the game that. Huh? John Dugan, yeah. John Dugan was referee.
Looking forward to Saturday. What do you think they'll win by?
Sure. Probably win by 2 points would be enough anyway.
Packie Connolly, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to join Deputy Andrew Boylan now. He was getting out the wallet there and the cheque and the TD's expenses and the whole lot. He was going to buy a drink for everybody here tonight. I know I shouldn't mention anything like that. That's not fair. Now. That's right. Michael Crane says there, are you sure it wasn't a brown envelope? No, Andrew, seriously though, Andrew, you have 3 players on the team on Saturday. One of them is the captain. We want to hear from you. We can have a little bit of silence. Andrew Boylan, so much part and parcel of the people of Butlersbridge, your own deputy and all representative. Andrew, tell us about having 3 players on the team.
Yes, well, needless to say, we are very proud of the fact that 3 of the boys have made the panel, because there is competition for places there, but they would be the first to say, and I would be the first to say myself, that it's a team effort. It's the 15 boys playing on the day, and I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that if they show the same commitment as they showed against Rangoon, then Butlersbridge will be successful on Saturday night. There is no question about that. In my involvement in politics and travelling the county, I've met a number of people who were at that game, neutral supporters, come to see a game of football, and they expressed to me that that was one of the finest games of football played in Breffni Park in many a year. It was the real GAA typical football played with both teams competing without a false move, and that's something we want to see on Saturday evening, and I have no doubt it will be a great game with Drumlane, but Butlersbridge will be victorious.
With 3 sons playing in the Boylan household and your wife Margot down here, that they all have to be tugged out. I'm sure Margot does the washing and gets all the gear ready for them. Is that right, Andrew?
Yes, that's left to her, because she claims that the football came from the Gallagher side of the household. And I don't dispute that.
That's very magnanimous of you, Andrew.
Well, if it gets the washing done, I'll go along with it.
And you want a quiet time when you go home tonight. You don't want any aggro.
No, but we're not going home tonight yet. This, could I say to you, Sean, I want to compliment you on an excellent programme. You've taken us down memory lane. We have had the evergreen Sean O'Hare, Kathleen Duffy, Sean Browne. We have the panel of players from 74. We also have the present club mentors and officials. And I think tonight we should remember the players, the officials and the people that kept GAA alive in Butlersbridge during the lean years, and to coin a phrase, I believe that we will bridge the gap on Saturday night.
And what will Andrew Boylan and Margot be doing on Saturday night if the cup is here in Butlersbridge?
Before I come to that, could I say...
That's the typical politician speak. Before I say that, but I'd like to say this.
Could I suggest to you that as a result of the link-up with Paddy Leddy in his Dublin hospital through Ollie Henry, that Aircom shares will soar through the roof. And I'll make a pledge before my neighbours, and something that you refer to, and our good friend from Dublin here, with my much maligned expenses.
I will fill the Sean Leddy Memorial Cup with the best of Hennessy's brandy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Boylan.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to a close here, just time is rolling on. I'd like to put your hands together, please, for Sean McMahon, our commentator. Also for Pat Lee up here on the video. Pat's working quietly behind the scenes. It's very dangerous when you start thanking people, but I'd like to thank Ollie McGerty there. She looked after the refreshments there for everybody. You haven't got sandwiches and sausages. She's here behind me. To her music there, coming the whole way from Killashandra and Drumlane. Thanks a million. And hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, we'll all be back here on Saturday night with our cup in our hands. Thank you. Just before we finish, I'll just put it back on the show for a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Well, looking back on that 74 final, we know that Michael O'Hare is gone and deceased, and we thought there that we'd give you a few words of how Michael O'Hare might have described that 74 final. If we can do a little bit of quiet now, we see the full forward Eamon Reilly here. Eamon, if you can tune in for a moment. Oh, Jesus. Acas Ballyid Galera Car Checkers Fulchinoiv, and welcome to Breffley Park, Cavan, November the 24th, 1974. Bullahorden playing Butlersbridge in the Junior Championship final of 1974. And what great stars we have out in front of us here today. We have in goal for Butlersbridge, number 1, Niall Sheridan. Of course, Raymond Dunne is playing at full-back. The half-back is Oliver Sheridan. Out in the centre of the field, the butcher of present-day life, Brian McEntee. I don't know what he was doing on that occasion. And Ollie Leddy out in the centre of the field. He's partnering or playing on Noel Smith this afternoon. And up at full forward is Eamon Reilly. The game is in its early stages, so we'll describe the opening moments. Ball out on the far side of the field, and it's grabbed out there now by Ollie Leddy. Ollie's 60 yards out, has a look down towards the full forward line, trying to get it in towards the full forward line, plays it in towards Eamon Reilly. Eamon turns around, hops the ball, he's on the edge of the square. Eamon takes a shot, and it's the first goal of the game, scored by Eamon Reilly. That goal comes after just 2 minutes of play, and Butlersbridge seem already on the way in this Junior Championship of 1974. Then we switch to the second half and enter Ollie Leddy. The ball is kicked out to the far side of the field. It drops out about 70 metres out. High in the centre of the field, Ollie Leddy taking it down, is knocked away from him there. Noel Smith is in close proximity, goes loose out on the far side of the field, but Ollie grabbing it again, playing it in towards the full forward line. Johnny Cusick going after it. Jim Browne is in there as well. Eamon Reilly breaks it down. He's going in towards the goal. He's fouled on his way through there. Paddy Smith impeded him, and it is a penalty to Butlersbridge. And who is going to take it? Well, Ollie Leddy apparently is the man stepping forward now. Ollie Leddy, the big man, a son of the great Eugene Leddy now, going forward. Eugene Leddy, of course, one of the stalwarts of music in Ireland for so many decades. Standing over the ball, Ollie Leddy. In the goal for the Mullahorden team is Gerry Gannon. Standing on the line, socks down around his ankles now. Ollie Leddy standing back from the ball. The run is on its way. Ollie kicks. It's a goal! Ollie Leddy, the goal! Puts it to the right of the goalkeeper, Gerry Gannon. The goal for Butlersbridge. They're on the way. And this is a historic occasion for the men from Butlersbridge. And what will 1999 bring? We look forward to it on Saturday. A brief word from Micheál O'Marahertig. Well, looking forward to Saturday. It shall be a great game. A batch of young players going to Breffley Park in Cavan to take on Drumlane. A very interesting game and prospect. We're looking forward to it very, very much. The team is fit and ready. And if the no streakers comes out on the field, I was commentating on a game in Clowness one day. A streaker came out on the field. She was heading out towards the referee, and I was saying on that occasion that I've never seen as much bounce as I've seen here in Clowness at the moment. The Gardaí came on and they covered up and they took her off, and it was a great occasion for women's lib, but not a great occasion for the Gaelic Athletic Association. Well, that's the story. We look forward to the game in Brackley Park on Saturday. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great night here in Tommy Smith's in Butlersbridge. We hope you enjoyed it. There's one final moment we have to leave with Gerry Leddy. He wants to say a few words to you all before you part and go home tonight. Take care on the way home. We've enjoyed being here. We'll be with you on Saturday. Hopefully, we'll be videoing the game. So best of luck to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I just say on behalf of all the panel of 1974, could I just say on behalf of all the panel of 1974, a special word of thanks to the officers of the Bridge Club at the moment. A very hard-working committee, and I'm referring to the club chairman, Paul Henry, here beside me. To an extremely hard-working secretary, Mary Shannon. Charlie McCreevy couldn't live with the treasurers. We have Michael Reynolds and Sean Reilly. And to the rest of the club backroom team, to thank them for with all the work that they had to do leading up to a final and everything that's involved in it, that they still had time to think of the last team that brought a bit of honour to the Bridge in championship forum. And I'd like to thank them for remembering that, and thank all the players from 74 who turned up, and we all look forward to the game. I was also just told to mention that there were two mascots that we forgot to interview tonight. Two fairly cheeky ones, I might add. One of them here behind me, Sean Reilly. And the other one up there, Shane Leddy. So, just on behalf of the panel again, to thank the officers of the club and everybody involved, to thank Sean for his great work as well, Pat Lee for doing the video, and looking forward to a great day on Saturday.
Right, folks, just going to finish off with Elish here on the band having a song and get her going there, Elish.
Well, no, it'll have to be a football song now. Yes. No, we'll have to sing the Gallant on John Joe. It's the only one I know. In the month of November, on a cold stormy day, I left my own home into town, made my way. I met with a young man on the road I did go, and he told me the news of the gallant John Joe. John Joe O'Reilly has left us behind. He was called by the Lord to his faithful and kind. He has called him to heaven, a proud land to show. Oh, a true son of Breffni was the gallant John Joe. Brave Clan O'Reilly, proud is your name. You've reared many sons of great honour and fame, but not even the cold prince of long, long ago would compare with our sportsman, the gallant John Joe. He led Cavan to victory on that memorable day. In the final against Kerry in New York far away. The next year in Croke Park when our boys beat Mayo. Once again they were led by the gallant John Joe. In each corner of Breffni there is sorrow and pain. Such a true-hearted sportsman we'll ne'er see again. Young players may come and old players may go, but we'll ne'er have another like the gallant John Joe. No, we'll ne'er have another like the gallant John Joe.
I went walking through Dublin city one pleasant morning in the month of May. Near Stephen's Green, there I met a student with tear-dimmed eyes, who to me did say, this morning early our birds were singing and mass bells ringing with pepper and tongue. To his great promise the Lord took promise, our peerless champion from sweet Stradone. There's a banshee keening by Breffni's borders, beyond Loch Sheelan in the morning wine. By lake and river the rushes quiver in the silent sorrow for young and kind. The dawn was flowing, our tears were flowing as we watched him going when God called us home. 'Twas so we parted, were broken hearted for the peerless champion from sweet Stradone. Oh, nevermore shall I tread the green sod of broad Croke Park, but I'll see him still. His brilliant fielding and madly bearing and red-haired flaring in the battle thrill. Young stars may rise in the years before us, but in my heart no will him dethrone. The boy from Breffni, the pride of Ulster, God rest you, Paige, in sweet Stradone.